The glow of the smartphone screen was the only light in Leo's apartment, painting his face in a pale, shifting blue. It was 2:17 a.m., a time when the world felt both silent and screamingly loud. He was scrolling through his best friend Ben's old chrono profile, a masochistic ritual he'd fallen into every few months. It had been exactly 1 year since the rain-slicked highway and the mangled wreck of Ben's car. 1 year since the world had stolen his other half. The profile was a digital mausoleum, frozen in time. The last post was a blurry selfie of them at a concert, dated the night before the accident. The comments below it had morphed over time from excited chatter to a long scrolling wall of "I miss yous" and "RIPs." Leo's thumb hovered over an old photo of them as kids, grinning with missing teeth, when a notification banner slid down from the top of his screen. Ben Carter has posted for a first time in a while. Leo's heart seized. He dropped the phone on his chest as if it had burned him. His breath hitched. It was a glitch. It had to be a server error. A scheduled post Ben had set up years ago that had finally, cruelly gone live. Or worse, someone had hacked his account. Some sick troll was playing a game. With a trembling hand, he picked up the phone. He clicked the notification. It was a new post, on Ben's profile, uploaded 1 minute ago. The photo was simple, almost abstract. It was a shot of a street lamp, its orange light diffused and haloed by thick fog. There was no landmark, nothing recognizable, but the caption made the blood drain from Leo's face. "Can't see the stars from here. I miss the stars." It was a line from a conversation they'd had countless times, complaining about the light pollution in the city. It was their private little lament. A hacker couldn't know that. A scheduled post wouldn't be that poetic. Leo's fingers flew across the screen, messaging their old group chat. "Someone hacked Ben's account. This isn't funny." Replies trickled in. Shock, disgust, theories about who could be so cruel. They collectively decided to report the post and the account. Leo did, his finger stabbing at the screen. Yet as he put the phone down, a sliver of something else, something terrifying and impossible, lodged itself in his mind. The next day, it happened again. This time, the photo was a close-up of a single wilting daisy in a cheap plastic cup, the kind you'd find in a hospital room. The caption was just one word: sorry. Before the accident, he and Ben had a stupid argument over a freelance project. Leo had accused Ben of slacking, and Ben had fired back that Leo was a control freak. They hadn't spoken for a week. Leo had been stewing in his own self-righteous anger when he got the call. The last words he'd ever said to his best friend had been laced with fury. He never got to apologize. This was too specific, too personal. He tried to rationalize it. Maybe Ben's sister, Clara, had gotten into his account. Maybe she was processing her grief in a strange, cryptic way. He called her. Her voice was thick with sleep and then confusion. She swore she hadn't touched it and was just as disturbed as he was. She promised to try and get the account memorialized and shut down for good. But it didn't stop. The posts became more frequent and more alarming. A photo of a cracked car windshield, spiderwebbing from a single point of impact. The caption: "It was so fast." A picture of a raven perched on a telephone wire. The caption: "They're always watching." Then came the warnings. It started with a photo taken from an impossible angle, looking down at the top of Leo's own head as he sat at his computer working. The back of his worn-out hoodie, the clutter on his desk, it was all there. He lived on the 14th floor. There was no balcony above him. The caption was, "The man with the smiling eyes is coming. Don't let him in." Leo scrambled to his window, peering into the empty night sky. He checked his locks 3 times. He felt a paranoia so intense it was like a physical pressure against his skull. The man with the smiling eyes. It sounded like a riddle from a children's horror story. He didn't sleep for 2 days. He called out of work. He sat in his silent apartment, jumping at every creak of the building. His phone clutched in his hand like a talisman. He kept refreshing Ben's page. Nothing. The silence was almost worse. The third night, his doorbell rang. Leo froze, his gaze darting to the door, then to his phone. It was almost 10 p.m. He wasn't expecting anyone. He crept to the door, his heart hammering against his ribs, and looked through the peephole. Standing in the hallway was Mr. Henderson, his elderly neighbor from down the hall, a sweet, lonely old man who sometimes brought him mail that was delivered by mistake. He was holding a small plate covered in plastic wrap. "Leo, my boy, I made too much coffee cake. My daughter would kill me if I ate it all myself." Leo's eyes focused on the old man's face, warped by the fisheye lens. His kind, wrinkled face was crinkled into a pleasant expression. His eyes, they smiled. They always did. Everyone said Mr. Henderson had kind, smiling eyes. Leo's phone buzzed violently in his hand. He looked down. Ben's profile had uploaded a new photo. It was pitch black. Utter darkness. The caption was a frantic, jumbled mess. "Not him, Leo. Wrong smile. It's not him. Don't open it. The other one. The one who watches you sleep." Another buzz. A direct message from Ben Carter. The message contained a single image. It was a selfie of Leo. He was asleep on his own couch, his mouth slightly agape, head lolling to the side. The photo was taken from mere inches away, and in the dark background, just behind the couch, 2 points of light glinted like animal eyes in the blackness. The doorbell rang again, more insistently this time. "Leo, everything all right in there?" Mr. Henderson asked, a note of concern in his voice. Leo was hyperventilating. It was a prank. It had to be. A sick, elaborate, cruel prank. Someone had put a camera in my apartment. Someone's outside my door. The posts, the warnings, they were all a lie, a game. He messaged Ben's account back, his thumbs fumbling. "Who are you? Leave me alone." The reply was instant. "You have to understand. I'm not warning you about a danger coming to your door." Another message came through before Leo could even process the first. "I'm warning you about the danger that's already inside." A cold dread, so absolute and pure it felt like ice water flooding his veins, washed over Leo. The smiling eyes, the one who watches you sleep. It wasn't Mr. Henderson, it was something else. He slowly lowered the phone, his eyes darting around his own dimly lit living room. The pile of laundry in the corner, the stack of books on the coffee table, the tall, slender floor lamp standing silent beside his reading chair. The lamp had a sleek, modern design, a simple black pole with a brushed steel head that arced over the chair. He'd bought it a few months ago from a weird online store he couldn't find again. He thought it was stylish. But now, in the terror-fueled clarity of the moment, he saw it. The head of the lamp wasn't just a light. The way the fixture was cut, it looked like a face in profile. A long, thin nose, a high cheekbone, and the bulb, set deep within the fixture, was a single, unblinking eye. He stared at it, his mind refusing to connect the dots. The lamp had been there for months, watching him work, watching him eat, watching him sleep. His phone buzzed one last time, a final message from Ben. "The photo I just sent you, I didn't take it, Leo. I found it. It's from the lamp's cloud storage. It has thousands of them. It's been watching you since you brought it home." The floor lamp in the corner of the room began to move. It wasn't a sudden, jerky motion. It was a slow, fluid pivot, the metal groaning softly like stretching cartilage. The single glowing bulb, the smiling eye, turned from the chair and fixed directly on him. The room went cold. The man with the smiling eyes wasn't a man. It was a mimic, a predator disguised as furniture. And deep within the lamp's metallic body, a low, soft voice, A perfect imitation of Ben's whispered into the silent apartment. "It's okay, Leo. You can let me in now." Outside, Mr. Henderson, hearing a muffled scream, shaking his head at the strange noises young people make. He never saw the light in Leo's apartment click off, plunging the room and everything inside it into a final, permanent darkness.